Hello, this is Happy Thrasher of Nasty Metal Production Channel at YouTube. It is episode 2 of the review, and I'm actually gonna take the time and actually review an album that was, you already see the title, Witchblades, Oskuldernas Eld. Yeah, I think I pretty much pronounced that right. But this was released on last month, on the first actually of last month, and I actually feel like I need to talk about it because I've been playing at least this album. I think it's like the third time I've listened to this album, and since getting it yesterday, and I don't know, it's just been really I've just been really digging this album, really. And I knew I was going to dig this album, but I think I've been playing this quite a bit. It's just such a great, and just a great heavy metal album, really more on like the barbaric side. And since this band's out of Sweden, I can't help but think of Heavy Load when it comes to some of the just the attitude, even the attack of some of these songs, even with the first track, Apostle of Light, which even though it also gets translated in their actual length, because this whole album, everything is sung in their native language, but most of these songs, even help to the back cover, they have the English translation. And fucking thunder. Well, I guess talking about Witchblade, it sure definitely, and even bands such as Heavy Load, I think, kind of just caused it to strike thunder, which is pretty much just what the whole nature of this album anyway. It's just pretty much just a very good heavy metal album. But there's other songs. Last year, the song Mukrit's Temple, I think I pretty much pronounced that right. Yeah, Mukrit's Temple. Which also translates to Temple of Darkness, was released as a music video last year, and it was to promote the single of, I believe, the same title. And I believe it was like I was listening, watching the music video for Ambush's Natural Born Killers, and that song, I believe, was up next, and I pretty much let that play, and when I heard the actual song itself, it was like, okay, is there anything else by this band? Because even though on the Heavy Metal Rarities forum, Strapato was showing the artwork for their demo and the What's Playing thread, and after hearing the song, the only thing they had released up to that point was a demo. The single had not yet been released, even though it was released last year. By the time when I watched it, it was not released. So, and I loved every bit of that song. I thought it was like, shit, this is fucking badass. And I really wanted to hear more of the band, but when they released a single, I didn't know where else to get it. But then finding out that they were going to release an album this year, I was like, okay, I have to get this album. And I did. I finally obtained this one, and again, I knew that this album was going to deliver, and I gave at least little snippets, and I just knew it was going to deliver, and it did. It delivered. This album, even the song Mukrit's Temple still ends up, it's still a great song to this album, but there's other songs such as Distant War, which is just a galloping. It starts off like that sort of galloping sort of riff. I think you, I don't know, it's got that sort of Swedish tinge to it, sort of that new wave of traditional heavy metal, but I think what ends up really saving the song itself is just, I think even the guitar solos, they just run by fast. It's like it hits you and then it's gone. That's how, and this album is like pretty much 26 minutes long. It's fucking short. This is practically an EP, but it is in a way it's practically addictive. I can't get enough of listening to this album. And then you also have the song, the title track, which is another great song as well. Every song on here just kicks ass. Then you got the last one, which is practically the longest song on here. It's like we're clocking around 4 minutes long. Every other song clocks around either 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but this song clocks around 4 minutes. And it's a bit of a slower song on here, but it really gets the job done. It's a great way to end it. It's called Witchblade. It's the only title on this album that's actually really given an English title, and it's pretty much named after the band's name, so it's their title track, not the album's title track, but their title track, and it's a great song. Just slow, pounding metal, almost in a sort of like similar to Heavy Load and maybe other Swedish metal bands as well. And even though there's also some of that, even a little bit of Motorhead in some area, like, think of like, maybe some like the Hammer or Fire, but off of Ace of Spades, but more so with that attitude of some other albums such as Iron Fist. Even some of the stuff like some of the songs off of Orgasmatron, but most of the stuff off of No Remorse, like even like the faster version of Under the Knife. It's just got that sort of, you know, a little bit of that speed metal or punk sort of attitude to it, but backed up with that sort of barbaric heavy metal that Heavy Load was known for. Even the vocals here, even though it's got a little bit of that Lemmy sort of sound to it, I can't even help but think of some of the more, a little tougher sort of sounding vocals that of Heavy Load as well. Like such a song such as You've Got the Power, which this whole album as well, even the riff to A Pulse of Life is just that sort of heavy sort of riff. It's barbaric. This whole album, again, it just summons up. It's a barbaric, heavy metal album. And I don't know, I just can't get enough of this album, really. I can't. 26 minutes, whatever. What delivers here is just the riffs, just the whole attitude of it. It's just a great album. And I would love to hear more of this band because of, again, it's like, I think from each release is going to be strong, maybe just even better than the other, but who knows. As good as this right here, this could just end up being another, with whenever they release more albums, just because it'd be now seen as a classic. I can just see this album years from now as a modern classic, one of those classic pieces of that came out during the new wave of traditional heavy metal. And to me, this is what I would love to hear, at least more from the new wave of traditional heavy metal. Is more of that, and there were some Swedish bands, during the whole that's right now during the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal, such as Helvetets Port, which, you know, you've got bands like, such as them that want to try and recreate the sound of Heavy Load. Even, what's his fucking name? Ryan Waste and his heavy metal band Vulture. Everyone keeps saying that his music is close to like bands such as Gotham City and fucking Heavy Load. I don't know. I was really bored by some of Vulture's stuff, and to even hear, just see comparisons to Heavy Load almost made me want to throw up because of some of that isn't very close. It was boring. This, however, to me, this is not fucking boring. This just actually just ends up doing at least a job, and the production on this album is fucking raw as well. And even though this is the release on Swords and Chains Records, this is not loud. If anyone expecting, in this modern age, a loud album, this is not loud. This is just almost just right because it just gives it more of that raw edge. Just to me, that does not bore me. It's just great. I can't praise this album enough, but if I have to also say, I recommend picking up it. Right now, I don't know how many copies are left, but I know that even though I bought this off of the Swords and Chains Bandcamp page, I know the guy is selling it also through his website as well, just a little cheaper. On Bandcamp it was being sold for like 12, but on his site's being sold for 10. I wish I bought it directly from there because I probably would have not forked out so much, but hey, I'm not disappointed. But right now on the Bandcamp page, right now there's 97 copies. When I was buying it, it was 99 copies left, and when I did, it was turned into 98. Now it's 97, so I would say jump on this album at least. If you're up to it, jump on it. It's like, don't fucking miss out on at least a good album. If you really like new wave or traditional heavy metal and actually like that sort of sound that's similar to like Heavy Load or maybe other bands such as maybe Motorhead or maybe Baphomet's Blood out of Italy, if you like that sort of barbaric metal, definitely grab yourself a copy. I know even Dying Victims Productions also selling it on vinyl. I know there's another record label that's selling it on cassette, so definitely jump on this. It's a great album. Really dig it. I would say this is like even due to time length, I would give it, it would probably make it like 7.5, but to me, I'm going to jump this and put 8.10. 8 out of 10. Fucking great album. I can't praise this album enough. I want to hear more from this band as well. So whenever this band releases another album, I am indeed gonna jump on that one, because I'm not gonna miss some great new Swedish heavy metal. So until next time, this is Heavy Thrashhead saying I am out, and pick yourself a copy of Witch Blade's Oskuldernas Eld, which actually translates to Virgin's Fire. Thus, the artwork as well. Even the artwork's been cool. Just look at that. If I could... Shit. Right there, look at that. To me, it kind of reminds me a bit of the artwork for like the first Merciful Fate EP, the self-titled, but this one's almost has like that sort of modern 70s look to it. You know, the retro 70s bands, like, I can't think, but I've seen some of their artwork. It's got that sort of atmosphere to it, but this album is just kick-ass heavy metal. So, this video I think has gone on too long, so I'm out.